Echoes of the Forgotten Magic. Season 1. Whispers of Destiny. The Awakening. Episode 5. Shadows of the Horizon. The night passes quietly, but the tension in the air lingers as the first light of dawn begins to creep over the horizon. The forest is still, but there's an unmistakable sense of foreboding hanging over the landscape. Inside the small cabin, Samba stands by the window, his eyes scanning the tree line, his thoughts focused on the growing threat of the mages. Nari is already awake, sharpening her blade with practiced precision, her expression focused and calm. The mentor sits at the table, a map of the surrounding region spread before him. They are planning their next move, knowing that time is running out. Mentor. Calm, but urgent. The mages will strike soon. We can't just wait for them to come to us. We need to be ready to move. Samba turns from the window, his face set with determination. He spent the last few days training, honing his control over the artifact's power. But now it's time to put that training to the test. Samba, resolved. We need to get ahead of them. If we wait too long, they'll catch us off guard. Nari nods in agreement, sliding her blade back into its sheath. Nari, focused. They won't stop until they have the artifact. If we're going to beat them, we need to know where they're hiding and what their next move will be. The mentor traces his finger along the map, his brow furrowed in concentration. Mentor, thoughtfully. There are rumors of dark magic gathering near the northern mountains. If the mages are regrouping, that's where they'll be. Samba moves closer, studying the map. The northern mountains are far, but not unreachable. If they can strike the mages before they have a chance to mount their next attack, they might stand a chance at stopping them once and for all. Samba, determined. Then that's where we go. We take the fight to them before they can come for us. Nari glances at Samba, her expression serious but approving. Nari, firm. We'll need to move fast. They're expecting us to stay on the defensive. We need to hit them where it hurts. The mentor looks at both of them, his eyes filled with both pride and concern. He knows that this is a dangerous move, but it may be their only chance. Mentor, gravely. If you're going to face them, you'll need to be prepared for whatever dark magic they throw at you. The mages are unpredictable, and they won't hesitate to use every trick they have. Samba tightens his grip on the artifact, feeling its familiar pulse of energy. He's ready for whatever comes next. Samba, confident. I'll be ready. Let's end this. The morning sun is low in the sky as Samba, Nari, and the mentor begin their journey toward the northern mountains. The path ahead is long and treacherous, cutting through dense forests and jagged cliffs. Every step feels heavy with anticipation, as though the very air is bracing for the coming battle. Samba leads the group, the artifact strapped securely at his side. He feels its familiar hum, but now there's a quiet confidence within him. The artifact no longer feels like a foreign power. It's a part of him, something he has learned to trust. Nari walks beside him, her eyes sharp and focused, always scanning the horizon for any signs of danger. She moves with the fluid grace of someone who has spent years navigating hostile environments. And though her usual smirk is absent, there's a sense of determination in her stride. The mentor follows closely behind, his face etched with a mixture of pride and concern. He has seen battles like this before, conflicts where the stakes were too high to comprehend. But this one feels different. He knows that Samba is strong, but the mages are unpredictable, and the power they seek to wield is dangerous. The forest around them is eerily quiet. The usual sounds of wildlife are absent, replaced by a deep, unsettling stillness. Even the wind feels unnatural, as if it carries whispers of something dark and unseen. Nari, quiet, cautious. Something's wrong. We're not alone. Samba tenses, his hand instinctively moving toward the artifact. His eyes scan the tree line, searching for any signs of movement. But there's nothing, just the oppressive silence. The mentor steps forward, his voice low, but steady. Mentor, seriously. Keep your guard up. The mages have spies everywhere, and they know we're coming." Suddenly, there's a faint rustling sound in the distance, followed by a low growl that seems to vibrate through the trees. Samba's heart races, his senses sharp. Whatever is out there, it's close. Samba, focused, ready. Get ready. Without warning, the trees ahead part, and from the shadows emerge a group of dark figures cloaked in black, their faces hidden beneath hoods. They move with unnatural speed, their eyes glowing faintly with dark magic. Nari, gritting her teeth. "Here we go." Samba draws the artifact from his side, the blue light flaring to life as he summons its power. The dark figures advance, their hands crackling with magic as they prepare to strike. Dark mage, cold, mocking. "Foolish to think you could come for us. The artifact will be ours, one way or another." Samba tightens his grip, his eyes narrowing. The tension in the air thickens as the battle looms, but he refuses to back down. Samba defiant. "You're not taking anything." The air crackles with energy as the dark figures rush forward, their magic swirling around them like a storm. Samba feels the pulse of the artifact, its power surging through him, and he prepares for the fight ahead. Nari unsheathes her blade, her movements quick and precise, while the mentor raises his hand, ready to counter whatever dark magic the mages throw at them. The battle begins. The dark figures rush towards Samba, Nari, and the mentor, their movements swift and deadly. Their cloaks billow like shadows, and the magic swirling around them crackles with dark energy. The air hums with tension as the first wave of attacks begins. Samba braces himself, the artifact glowing brightly in his hand. He feels the power flowing through him, steady and strong, and for the first time he doesn't hesitate. As one of the dark mages raises their hand to hurl a bolt of energy, Samba reacts instinctively. With a flick of his wrist, he releases a pulse of blue light from the artifact, intercepting the dark magic in mid-air. The two forces collide, sending a shockwave through the forest. But Samba's attack holds firm. Samba, gritting his teeth. "Not this time." Nari is already in motion, her blade flashing as she engages one of the mages. Her movements are swift and calculated, each strike aimed to keep her opponent off balance. She dodges a blast of dark energy, countering with a quick slash that forces the mage to retreat. Nari, focused, intense. "Keep them busy. We can't let them regroup." The mentor, standing a few steps behind, raises his hand, summoning a protective barrier around them. The glowing shield absorbs the brunt of the mage's attacks, buying Samba and Nari precious time to press the assault. One of the dark mages sneers, their voice dripping with disdain. Dark mage, mocking. "You think you can stop us with brute force? You don't understand the power we wield." Samba narrows his eyes, stepping forward with renewed determination. The artifact hums in his hand, its power flowing through him like a river. He can feel the energy rising, the connection between him and the artifact growing stronger with each passing moment. Samba, confident. "I don't need to understand your power. I just need to stop you." With a surge of energy, Samba releases another wave of blue light, this time targeting the group of mages directly. The blast hits its mark, sending two of the mages stumbling backward, their dark magic faltering. Nari takes advantage of the opening, darting forward with a flurry of precise strikes. Her blade cuts through the air with lethal precision, forcing one of the mages to drop to their knees, weakened by the combined force of Samba's magic and her swift attacks. But the battle is far from over. One of the mages, stronger than the rest, steps forward, their hands glowing with dark, pulsating energy. They raise their arms, summoning a massive surge of shadow magic that sweeps through the clearing like a storm. Dark mage leader, cold, commanding. "Enough of this, you will not leave here alive." The wave of shadow magic crashes towards Samba, Nari, and the mentor, dark tendrils reaching out like claws. Samba can feel the raw, destructive power in the attack. This is no ordinary spell, it's something far more dangerous. Mentor, urgently. Samba, use the artifact, you must stop it now. Samba's heart races, but he doesn't hesitate. He raises the artifact, channeling every ounce of power he can muster. The blue light flares brighter than ever before, forming a protective barrier in front of them just as the shadow magic strikes. The two forces clash with an explosive crack, the ground trembling beneath their feet. Samba grits his teeth, pouring more energy into the barrier. The pressure is immense, the dark magic pushing against him with a force that threatens to overwhelm him, but he holds firm, refusing to back down. Samba, gritting his teeth, determined, I'm not giving in. The battle between light and shadow rages for what feels like an eternity, but finally, with one last surge of power, Samba's barrier holds. The shadow magic shatters, dissolving into the air as the dark mage leader stumbles back, momentarily weakened. Nari, breathing heavily, impressed. That was close. Too close. Samba lowers his hand, the artifact still glowing softly in his grip. He's exhausted, but he knows they've won this round. The remaining dark mages retreat into the forest, their leader casting one last hateful glare before vanishing into the shadows. Dark mage leader, furious but retreating. This isn't over, boy. We will return, and next time, you won't be so lucky. As the forest falls quiet once more, Samba, Nari, and the mentor stand in the clearing, catching their breath. The first battle is over, but the real fight is just beginning. The clearing is eerily silent after the intense battle, the echoes of magic still hanging faintly in the air. The dark mages have retreated, but their ominous presence lingers, a reminder that this victory is only temporary. Samba, Nari, and the mentor stand together, the weight of what just happened settling in. Samba wipes sweat from his brow, the artifact still warm in his hand, its glow dimming slightly as the magic within settles. His body feels heavy, drained from the immense effort of holding back the dark magic. But despite the exhaustion, there's a flicker of pride within him. He managed to stop the dark mage's powerful attack and protect his allies. Samba, breathing heavily but determined. We pushed them back, for now. Nari sheathes her blade, her gaze scanning the tree line for any signs of movement. Her face is calm, but there's a sharpness in her eyes. She knows this is far from over. Nari, calm but serious. They'll be back, and next time, they won't hold back. We have to be ready. The mentor approaches, placing a reassuring hand on Samba's shoulder. His face is lined with concern, but there's also a sense of pride in his eyes. Mentor, softly. You did well, Samba. Holding back that kind of power is no small feat. But Nari's right. The mages will come again, and we need to prepare for what's coming. Samba nods, his breath steadying as the adrenaline from the battle begins to fade. He knows that this fight isn't over, not by a long shot. The mages are relentless, and their leader won't stop until they have the artifact. But for now, they have a moment of peace, a chance to regroup. Samba, quiet but resolute. I'll be ready for them. Whatever they bring next, I won't back down. Nari gives him a slight nod of approval, her usual smirk absent, replaced by something more sincere. Nari, calmly. Good, but don't let your guard down. We still have a long way to go. The mentor walks toward the edge of the clearing, looking out over the forest, his expression thoughtful. He knows the mage's power all too well, and he senses that they are only growing stronger. This battle was just the beginning of something much larger, something darker than any of them realize. Mentor, reflective, quietly. We're up against more than just a few rogue mages. They're organized, and their leader, whoever they are, they're planning something far more dangerous. Samba looks at him, frowning. Samba, curious. What do you mean? What are they after besides the artifact? The mentor turns to face him, his eyes filled with a deep seriousness. Mentor, gravely. The artifact is just a piece of the puzzle. There's something else, something older and more powerful. The mages want to reshape the balance of magic itself, and if they succeed, they'll plunge the world into chaos. Samba's heart tightens at the words. The thought of the mages wielding that kind of power, of them controlling not just the artifact but the very forces that govern their world, sends a chill down his spine. Samba, quietly but firmly. Then we stop them, no matter what. Nari steps forward, her expression focused. Nari, calm but determined. We need to regroup. If we're going to fight them on their terms, we need to figure out their next move. The mentor nods, his eyes scanning the horizon as the sun begins to dip lower in the sky. Mentor, resolute. There's an ancient place, not far from here, hidden deep in the northern mountains. It's a place where the lines between light and dark magic blur. If the mages are planning something, that's where we'll find our answers. Samba feels a surge of determination. He knows that whatever lies ahead will be more dangerous than anything they've faced before. But he's ready. The artifact pulses faintly in his hand, its energy a reminder that he has the power to make a difference. Samba, resolved. Then that's where we go. We end this before it begins. As the group prepares to leave the clearing, the sense of urgency grows. They've won the first battle, but the war is only just beginning. The northern mountains await, and with them, the dark secrets that the mages are hiding. With the tension from the battle still fresh in their minds, Samba, Nari, and the mentor set off toward the northern mountains. The air grows colder as they travel deeper into the wilderness, the landscape shifting from dense forest to rocky cliffs and narrow, winding paths. The sun is beginning to set, casting long shadows across the mountainside, and the distant peaks are shrouded in mist, giving the entire region an ominous feel. Samba walks ahead, his hand resting on the artifact at his side. He can feel the magic humming within it, a steady reminder of the power he now carries. But there's also a sense of dread in the air. The mentor's warning about the mage's plans weighs heavily on his mind. This isn't just about protecting the artifact anymore. It's about stopping the mages from unraveling the very balance of magic itself. Nari, ever vigilant, keeps her eyes on the path ahead, her expression focused. She moves with quiet confidence, but even she can feel the growing tension in the air. The closer they get to the mountains, the more the atmosphere changes, like something dark is waiting for them. The mentor walks behind them, his face lined with concern but resolute. His thoughts are elsewhere, on the ancient place he mentioned, a place where light and dark magic meet. He knows the dangers that await them, but he also knows it's their only chance to find the answers they need. As they approach the base of the mountains, Samba slows his pace, his eyes scanning the cliffs above. There's an eerie stillness to the landscape, as though the very rocks are holding their breath. The path ahead is steep and treacherous, but there's no turning back now. Samba, quietly, determined. This is it, we're close. Nari steps up beside him, her gaze sharp as she looks at the mountains. Nari, focused. We need to be careful. If the mages are here, they'll know we're coming. The mentor steps forward, his voice calm but grave. Mentor, seriously. This place, it's unlike anywhere you've been before. The balance between light and dark magic is fragile here. If the mages are using this place to gain more power, we need to be ready for anything. Samba nods, his grip tightening on the artifact. He can feel the energy shifting in the air, a strange mix of forces pulling at him, like the magic itself is alive and aware of their presence. Samba, resolute. Whatever's waiting for us, we'll face it. We have to stop them before it's too late. As they continue up the narrow path, the wind picks up, howling through the cliffs like a warning. The temperature drops, and the mist thickens around them, making it harder to see more than a few feet ahead. But Samba keeps moving, his mind focused on what lies ahead. Suddenly the path widens, opening up into a vast, rocky plateau. At the far edge, hidden within the shadows of the mountain, stands a massive, ancient structure. An imposing temple carved into the rock, its entrance lined with strange glowing symbols that flicker in the dim light. Samba's heart skips a beat. This is the place the mentor spoke of, the place where the mages are gathering their strength. The artifact pulses at his side, reacting to the ancient magic that fills the air. Nari, softly. So this is where they've been hiding. The mentor steps forward, his eyes fixed on the temple. Mentor, gravely. This is where it all begins, and where it could end, if we're not careful. Samba takes a deep breath, the weight of the moment settling over him. He knows that whatever lies inside that temple will be the key to stopping the mages, but it will also be the greatest challenge they've faced yet. Samba, resolved. We end this here, let's go. With that, the group begins their approach toward the temple, their hearts filled with determination, and the knowledge that this battle will decide the fate of everything they've fought for.